Good morning and happy Tuesday to you all. It's me, the Steaming Bean, still coming at you from the north. And I want to talk about my success that I achieved, but I'll go into that a little bit later in this video. But I want to talk about this interesting TikTok that I came across. On TikTok, I follow a couple of people that talk about addiction. Now, these two people who I follow, they talk about alcohol addiction, even though I barely consume alcohol, but I apply it to my issue with food, and I really get a lot of good information coming from people that talk about addiction. And one fellow, he talked about 3 habits, right? He talked about 3 habits about how he is an alcoholic in recovery. And he talked about his drinking, 3 habits. So he says, how often, he'll ask his audience, how often do you drink, right? How much are you drinking? And how quickly are you drinking? And he talked about how these 3 steps have to be addressed before you look at if you want to stop drinking. Okay? So, being an overeater, I realized that, difference between being an overeater and an alcoholic is that alcoholics, they pretty much give up the sauce. But being an overeater, if you give up eating food, you're 6 feet under. So you have to control the food that goes into you. All right, so I'm going to switch it from the addiction to alcohol to the addiction of food. How often? How often are you eating? Well, I remember in the almost 20 years ago, in the early 2000s. That everyone was talking about, being an eater where you eat, a grazing style of eating, where you eat throughout the day. And being an overeater, I loved hearing that because, of course, that gave me the green light to eat throughout the day. Hey. You can have a snack if you're on a weight loss journey, or if you're healthy, you want to maintain being healthy, have a snack. But when you're telling someone who's over 100 pounds being overweight, don't tell them about grazing. Those 3 meals a day turn into 6 or 7 meals a day, and generous meals. Let me tell you that. So how often are you eating, right? How much are you eating? Well, I was one that frequented buffets, all-you-can-eat buffets, and I was really good at stacking the plate. Really to the point where if I was a full if the restaurant was filled, I was that one customer who was very confident of, I could have been a structural engineer with food plates. So how much are you eating? Well, of course, being an overeater, I was packing away like thousands of calories in a day. Eating one sandwich after another, having another bowl full of this or a bowl full of that, having extra servings of this. So it was the size of the plate that I was eating and the amount of servings I was taking, all right? And finally, how quickly are you eating? Well, I would consume food as if I was breathing in air, I would eat very fast. I've had dinners before where the plate would go down. I could be finished before someone's finished a quarter of their plate. That plate was gone. And I was just woofing it to the point where I have to wonder now, was I tasting anything? Was I savoring the moment being with other people? Or was I just targeted on eating that food and getting that into my body ASAP? Well, I think I know the answer to that one. So, before I talk about my update, I'm just inviting you to give my channel a thumbs up, comment below, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe. I'm looking forward to growing this channel, and let's see if I get on to 1,000 subscribers before, before this year is out. So, my update. I'm happy to say that after days of not eating fried eggs, instead of my egg consumption in the mornings, have been focusing on hard-boiled eggs. I'd shell them, cover them with seasoning without salt, and squirt a little bit of sriracha on them, and enjoying that. And, you know, I'm cutting down the oils, and I'm measuring out my salad dressings before I use them all up. After I use them all up, I am going to make my own. All right? Not only will that be healthy for me, but it's going to save money. And I love saving money. So, my update. All right, I am, once again, for the first time in a while, I am below the 310 mark. Woohoo! So, I'm at 309.4 pounds, giving me a total weight loss of 72 pounds. And, you know, being below the 310 mark is, makes me feel great because I know that I'm within 10 pounds of being below 300. And, you know, I have not seen that in over 30 years. So it must have been about 30 years or just over 30 years last time I weighed under 300. So let's see if I could do that. I know I'm going to do it, but let's see if I could do that, but let's see when that can happen. Hopefully sooner than later. And so what my goal is, if I'm at 309.4, let me say that by the week's end, I would like to be down half a pound, 0.5 pounds. So that would get me down to below 309. I'd be at 308.9 pounds. And let's see if I can do that by Friday. Anyways, folks, I want to thank you for watching. Please look after yourselves and each other. Remember, onwards and downwards.